Okay, boys and girls, we're going to get started. So we have notebooks, something to write with, and I already collected your homework. We will be doing a game in a moment. I will tell you what it is after. But before we get to that point, I want to do a little bit of review of the types of problems you can expect. So there are 3 types of problems you can expect in this game. The first one would be base 10 multiplication. So if we have base 10 multiplication, does anyone remember what base 10 multiplication is? What that might involve? Yes, Augie. Okay, so there are a lot of zeros. It is when we hear the word base, what does that make us think about? Excuse me, I want to hear Charlotte.
Like the bottom, but isn't it where you move the decimal?
Okay, so we're moving the decimal. There's one move the decimal. We often multiply some decimal by a certain type of number. Can someone give me an example of what that number might be? Yeah, Augie?
An exponent?
Okay, there could be something with an exponent. If one of them is 10, what's another one that it could be? Yeah, Gigi? We could multiply it by...
30?
So not with the base 10 multiplication.
Oh, sorry. 100?
100 or 1,000. So it is anything where if we were to make it into an exponential form, the base would be 10. So for example, we could have 3 and 21/100ths, and we could multiply it by 100. This would be an example of a base 10 multiplication problem. So if what a couple of you guys were saying didn't ring any bells, hopefully this will start to ring some bells. What is sort of the first step when we look at this problem? Excuse me. I know where you do this. So what is the first step that we should think about when we have these problems, Desi?
You look at the zeros.
Okay, we look at the number of zeros. And how many do we have?
Dos.
Okay, we have 2. So what does that tell us?
That we're going to move the decimal over twice.
We're going to move the decimal 2 places. Which direction, left or right?
Right.
Right, exactly. So we're going to move it 2 places, which takes us behind the 1. And what does that mean our answer is then?
321.
Okay, the answer then would be 321. Why are we moving to the back? Boys and girls, there's actually no reason to be moving at all right now. Excuse me. Okay. So this is an example of one type of problem that we could have. A second type of problem that we could have would be whole number and decimal multiplication. Okay, whole number and decimal multiplication. So an example of a problem we could have here would be, let's say, 3 times 2 and 1/10. 3 times 2 and 1/10. So here we have one whole number, and we have a number that has a decimal. And how should we approach a problem like this? Yes, no. Exactly, so number of most digits, which in this case would be?
2.1.
Awesome. Correct. So this is correct. Now it's all about placing the decimal, and what do we want to look for? Yeah. Correct. Exactly right. So then our final answer is? Excellent. Okay. Lastly, and again after this, so we'll move on to the game. Okay. We could have decimal and decimal multiplication. Okay. So if we have decimal and decimal multiplication, we could have a problem like 0.31 times 0.5, or 31/100ths times 5/10. Now, in addition and subtraction of decimals, we had to do one thing that we do not have to do when we are multiplying decimals. What is that thing that we do not have to do when we are multiplying, Gigi? We do not need to line the decimal, but we do keep track of it, okay? And we'll get to that in a second. So how should we set up this problem? I've already had you guys turn the call. Okay. This is 31 hundredths times 5 tenths. That's an and. Okay. Okay. So we're looking at this problem here. How should we set this up, Desi?
So you're gonna add 31 on the top.
Excellent.
Okay. And then the 5 on under.
Good. And we don't need to line it up.
But then you're gonna wanna see how many places the decimal. Well,
Good.
see how many places the decimal is after that. So there's 2 places after the first decimal and 1 place after the second.
Excellent.
And 2 plus 1 is 2. So yeah. 3.
Okay. And we're going to use that later.
Yeah. So then 5 times 1 is 5, and 5 times 2 is 15. So then 3. At 3, and then the decimal is 1, 2, 3, and
So we have 155,000 decimals. Okay? So again, I know that this is sort of fresh in our minds. This is pretty fresh. This may be less fresh because we did it last week. But these are all types of problems that I expect we could do today in our game. Yes? No?
How would it not be fresh if we did it last week?
I'm just saying it may not be as fresh as this type of problem. Okay? But you're right. These are all problems in this particular. Excuse me. Okay. These are all problems in this particular topic. So we are going to have a side sheet to practice on, but we will be playing a game of bingo. The way, as you guys know, the way that we do bingo, I give you a blank bingo card, and to make it especially fair, I have you guys write in the numbers. So once I pass these out, the first thing that I would like you to do, excuse me, okay, the first thing that I would like you to do is to write your name in the top right corner. Okay. Afterwards, I will then read out the values, and you will put them in the boxes that you want to put them in. Okay. So clear your desk except for something to do problems on, because you will need to be doing these types of problems, and then write your name in the top right-hand corner. Yes. Let's see if we'll get that.
It doesn't matter what number it is.
Okay, I see Simona has put her name at the top right-hand corner. Okay, boys and girls, this should not take this long. Isaac, can you please take a seat? Excuse me, this is taking too long. We don't have to play this game. Isaac and Thomas, I need you to sit. Okay. So I'm going to read off. It is a 5 by 5 grid. One of them is a free space. So there will be 24 numbers that I'm going to read off. You can put them in whatever box you would like. Okay. So I will read off 24 numbers, and you decide where that number goes. I'm only going to say it twice. So I will say the number, and then I will repeat it again. And if you miss it, then you miss it. Okay? So it is important that you are listening and that you are ready. Just if you do not have something to write with on your bingo board, can you raise your hand?
oh, that was perfect.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Olivia. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. Okay, the first one that I would like you to write down. 49 and 7/10. 49 and 7/10. Excuse me. 28. 28. Excuse me, we do not need to call it. I'll say it once, otherwise we just will not play this game. Augie, do you understand? $315. $315. Isaac, I can figure out this game. I need you to be under control. 1,320. 1,320. 87 and 8/10. 87 and 8/10. 508. 508. 9,760. 9,760. 211. 211. 63 hundredths. 63 hundredths. 63 hundredths. Can someone say out loud what that would look like? Yes. Actually, someone have a room for you, Beth? 0.63. Little review of our topic 1. 25 hundredths. 25 hundredths. I think at this point people get it. But thank you, I appreciate it. 56 hundredths. 56 hundredths. 14 hundredths. 14 hundredths. 8 hundredths. 8 hundredths. Is this one slightly trickier than the other ones? What would that look like, Gigi?
I mean 0.08.
Exactly. 0.08. 8 hundredths. Thank you. $21 thousandths. 21 thousandths. Someone I haven't heard from yet. What would 21 thousandths look like, Lilia?
0 and 0 to 1.
Great. 0.021. Exactly right. 21 thousandths. 0.021. 42 hundredths. 42 hundredths. 3/10. 3/10. 3/10.
How would you do 3 then point? No,
So 0.3.
Oh.
Hey guys, we
I knew that.
excuse me, no, we don't need to have that attitude.
What are you doing? It was
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay. 44 hundredths. 44 hundredths. One. That's it. 1. Number 1.
How many ones? Let's see. Where's that?
Your little, stuff on the
Okay.
You can never check.
7 and 2/10. 7 and 2/10. 33 hundredths. 33 hundredths. Forty-five hundredths. 45 hundredths. We should only have 3 spaces left.
Wait, do you have to get the thing together?
18 hundredths. 18 hundredths. Six tenths. 6 tenths. And lastly, 77 hundredths. 77 hundredths.
Wait, we don't have anything done.
I don't know. I
Okay.
have no idea.
The free space is double.
Okay, boys and girls. At this point, I should see everyone has a board of all spaces filled in and the free space. The way that this game will go, because it has been a while since we've done bingo, what I will do is I will leave 3 problems up at a time. Okay, so I will leave 3 problems up at a time in case people need to catch up. But if you, excuse me, okay, there will be plenty of time to work on them, I can assure you of that. But if we are messing around or wasting our time, excuse me, I'm talking, I'll give you directions now. Get that. Okay, if we are wasting our time, then we will not be able to get to all of the problems. In the first game, this is how I'm going to roll it. In the first game, I would like to see you, let's say we have that number 1, let's say it's that box. If you're filling it in, we are doing a star in the top.